This video is going to cover how to edit current pages, like subpages of the website, and or create new pages. So rule of thumb, once again, make sure you go to WP-admin. You're going to log in. Once you log in, you'll see a dashboard area very much like this. And at this point, I once again always like to have the site pulled up visually, and once you're logged in, you'll notice that you're going to see this admin area. I like that because now, depending on what section of the site that you're on, you'll be able to hit edit page at any point. Now, this particular tutorial does not, this process does not work on the home page because the home page was custom coded and that was covered in another video. These will be more pages like contact me, Instagram, take pictures, musings and poetry. These are, once you're on that particular subpage, it's as easy as then once you're clicked on that, I like to then hit edit page. Once you hit edit page, you'll notice that this is the page very similar to like the other site pages on WordPress, but your title and then whatever the body of what's going on here. Now in this particular case, it's a little bare bones and I know we're still working on it, but let's just say you ever wanted to add or change things. You have a really neat tool that you can do things with, and it's called Visual Composer. So here's the contact form coded, but if you ever wanted to add something to this area, it's as easy as clicking this plus sign, and here are all these tons of bells and whistles. And you can have so much fun by looking through these and what you can do. And then also, in addition to that, if you can't find it, just start typing it in, like I want to add an image. Here are your options with the image. Once you select that option, then it's going to give you all the bells and whistles within there. So you can have a lot of fun adding the image, what it's going to do, the size of it, etc. And here's the neat thing about it. Once you're done with that, always hitting Save Changes. But now you could take that and drag and drop it. Now there's a little bit of design element involved with it because you may be having to add a little bit of space in between it. You may want to just go ahead and actually copy and paste the entire cell element so that it's a little bit more spaced out. And now I would delete this contact area. I can add an image here. But the point is that it's very, very versatile. It can do a lot of things, and this is how editing sub-pages of your website of the current content and adding more. Now once again, once you're working on this, you can at any point always hit preview changes, and you'll be able to see it before it takes effect, so you get a feel for like, oh wow, there's where the images would go, and you're like, oh well, I don't like it. Make sure at any point, if you don't hit update, it won't take effect. So if you ever do something and kind of mess something up and you're like, what did I do? Hit refresh and don't hit update, and bada bing, it's going to go back to the way it was before you made any changes. It happens all the time. I do it a lot. Also, when creating new pages, the way that the site was coded, it's automatically going to put a header in there. So to deactivate that header, you're going to scroll all the way down and hit Disable Page Title. Because if you don't do that, when the page goes live, you'll see this obnoxious header, and you'll know what I mean. But just make sure you do that for every page that's created. And the same thing's going to be that same process for current pages on the site, is how to edit those by clicking on that page, hitting edit, and then taking care of it from there. Now, here's what's really interesting. Let's say you want to create a new page that doesn't exist. At any point when you're in the site, logged in, you can go to here, new, and hit page. It's going to pull up a blank window, and let's just say for conversation, it's going to be tester page, and here's the really neat rule of thumb. If it's a new page that I have not created for you, but you want that really neat Visual Composer effect, you have to hit back in editor, and there you go. Now once you hit back in editor, this is that really neat fluid tool that you can hit by adding an element, text blog, and or using a template that's already pre-existing. But in this case, I want to go ahead and add an element, and at this point, I usually just start with a text block because it's going to give me my blank canvas. So here's where that text block would be. All the variables within it, I'm just going to hit Save Changes for now, but you can start to see the fundamentals of the site taking shape. Once again, scrolling down, hitting Disable Page Title is the only thing that you need to calibrate. And aside from that, once you add all the stuff that you want within the page, you've looked at it a few times, and you want to get it on the nav bar is the most important. So once you've published the page, that's important by hitting Publish here, that page will now be in the menu area. Now, it's important now to know this. You're going to probably want that up here somewhere, or even a drop down. So how do we do that? Well, once the page is published, on the left-hand side, you're going to see Appearance, you're going to see Menus. Click on Menus, and you're going to notice this is already calibrated and it fits exactly what you see on the front end: Home, About Us, Contact, Instagram, etc. When you publish that page that I was just playing with, you'll you can always hit search. But in this case, it's not going to populate because I did not publish the tester page, but that's going to be here. What's neat is you click on that, and let's just assume that this was the tester page. You're going to hit add to menu, and it's automatically going to go to the furthest one. So here it is. So now it's a drag and drop feature. You can put it there and leave it, or you could put it back up here, and then, or you could do what we call sistering it. You can sister it by pushing it over to the right and tucking it, and now it's going to populate underneath that area on the site underneath home. It's pretty cool. Now that same principle that we're working on, hold on, let me get that screen back. Once that's done, you have to hit save menu and it will take effect right away. And here's what's really neat. If you ever wanted to add something, for this case, I'm going to go ahead and hit remove because I don't want that. But if you ever want to just go ahead and link to something else like we did here, where it says take the picture, and I think Instagram. You'll notice this is actually going externally. Well, it's a really neat way of doing that by coming to this menu, hitting custom link, putting the link that's here, so test link, whatever it is, you would copy and paste that part, and then the link text, and that's exactly what we did here. You'll notice we used a custom link factor. I put Instagram in the link text, and then I put the URL that I wanted to link to. So it still works and it's fluid, but it's, once again, it's just in the nav bar, but it's not pointing to a particular page of the site. So I hope that's helpful.